Hey everyone, and welcome back to Unveiling Beauty. We're so excited to be here with you today. And I have Mr. Ammon Carver. How are you?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Good. So I'm so excited about the theme of this show today. It's all about makeup, especially around Halloween is coming up. Lots of cool stuff to talk about. We have some amazing guests, but before we jump into that, we were laughing the other day talking about some funny stories about you and I on Halloween, different times that we've gotten dressed up in attempted makeup to look kind of cool for Halloween. So talk about that.
Oh my gosh. Well, the one that comes to mind, first of all, it was, for me at least, the most memorable because we have spent so many Halloweens together, being friends for so long. This particular one, I know we tried to coordinate our costumes and I ended up looking a little bit more like a werewolf and you were looking a little bit more like vampire with Jeff. But what we did have in common that I thought was hilarious was that we both wanted to have those contact lenses, right? That give you the really interesting eyes. But why don't you tell us about your experience with those contact lenses, Nick? Because
well, you know what?
that was my favorite part.
Coming from the guy who's never worn contacts, never worn glasses in my life. And we're like, oh, sure, let's get these cat eye, contact lenses and throw them in. It'll take 2 seconds. Well, several hours later for me trying to get these in. And I got an eye infection afterwards because I was trying for so many hours to get these damn contacts in and couldn't get them in. The makeup is where I thought was going to be even more difficult to do. But that I ended up by trying to get the contact in so much, I wiped off the makeup. I had to reapply the makeup back on. And I don't really know what we ended up because you were kind of like lumberjack meets werewolf. I kind of was like, I don't know why. I don't know.
I know. I was inspired by that True Blood series at the time, so I kind of had that kind of vibe going on. We were a mismatch, but we had that. Finally, it took, I think, maybe 2 hours to get the contact lens in. Huge success afterwards. Great memories. You guys can see the pictures and enjoy, but I want you to know that was a Halloween that I will not soon forget.
That's for sure. And if you're out there, please pray for me that I never have to wear contact lenses in real life because it's going to be hell for me. So, but enough of our fun stories. Let's talk about our guest today.
Yes. So today we have Nicole Faulkner on. You guys might know her as Lipstick Nick. She is Morphe Director of Global Artistry. Just an amazing talent. I want to give her a little bit of love right now because she's no big deal. She's actually kind of a really big deal. So she recently won an Emmy for her award in Outstanding Contemporary Makeup for a variety, nonfiction, or reality program for a show that you guys may have heard of. It's called RuPaul's Drag Race. So she knows what she's doing when it comes to makeup, and I think she's the perfect guest for today. So let's bring Nicole to the show.
Hi.
Hey guys.
Hey Nicole.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for spending some time with us. So many accomplishments. My God, an Emmy. How cool.
So cool, right? It was this was my 4th nomination and my first win. So it was such a blessing. And I actually was on set when I found out. So it was such a full circle moment.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
All Drag Race. No big deal there. Pretty amazing experience, I would assume.
Amazing. It's the coolest show, especially to win for a show like that. It just means even more. So yeah, amazing.
Oh my God. Well, I know we could chat for hours about all your accomplishments, but if you guys haven't followed her, make sure to go on Instagram and follow her. And also make sure that you're asking some questions that Ammon and I are going to answer tomorrow on Instagram. You might have a chance to win some of the products that she's using today, which we'll get to in just a minute. So Nicole, what are you going to be sharing with us today?
So today's look is really inspired by the artist that does a ton of people on Halloween and then has to try to pull their look together really quickly and go out. Or really it could be for anyone that is kind of working on a time crunch. So I'm going to show you guys a very, very simple, chic, cool skull half face. I already have my eyes and my lip prepped, my brows, my foundation, everything. So you can basically turn whatever look you've been rocking all day, any beauty makeup, and just kind of add this fun accent with just 2 products. I'll be using the Morphe Blackout Liquid Liner. You could use any liquid liner. I just love this one because it's very, very black. And you can see that's kind of what I did this detail work with earlier. So I'm going to use that, and also the James Charles palette. So this will be for a little bit of shading. 2 products. You're going to have a killer look for Halloween.
So cool.
Yeah.
So fun.
Huge hit. I cannot wait to see what you do. And honestly, like, I know that some of the work that we're going to be showing that people are going to be like, wow, it's incredible, the work that you can do. And I was like, when we were first kind of discussing what you would be doing today, I'm like, how is she going to possibly do something like this in the context or the framework of the show? But you said you're going to do something that's a little bit more simple and a little bit more like efficient for our viewers to take home. So I can't wait to see what you have to do.
Exactly. And as any other makeup artist knows, and even, any makeup artist working in store, it's really difficult because you want to give those customers and your clients that experience, and you want them to be happy with their look. And even for us, like, we want to look, we're proud to show off, wherever we're going, or virtual or in person. So this look is very, very simple, and I'm going to show you guys right now. So I'm going to get started just using my black liner. And the first thing we're going to do is really just outline everything, and then we'll fill in, and then we'll shade. So outline, fill, shade. Super, super simple. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start at my nose, and we're really going for this kind of imperfect skull, kind of broken skull look. So it doesn't have to be perfect. That's like the one thing I want to stress is, don't worry if you don't maybe have the steadiest hand or you've never done anything like this before. It's almost better when it looks organic because it really replicates a real skull and how it would crack and break and all the different texture there. So we've got our nose outline. Then we're gonna transition into teeth. I'm wearing a liquid lipstick right now. You could set this with a translucent powder and then just start to draw the teeth, but I'm just gonna go directly on top of this because it is pretty dried down. So you're gonna start to make your teeth. And these almost remind me of like little candy corn shapes. That's sort of the vibe when you're creating this. So have that image in your mind of that shape that a candy corn is. I like to go.
It looks so easy.
It actually is really easy. I will say, like, once you have this in your hand and you're actually using the felt tip that comes on this, it really just kind of creates itself. I just go one stroke down on each side and then you connect them. One more over here. And I think the biggest trick with this is you don't want to overcrowd your skull mouth with too many teeth, but you want to have enough to where you can have fun shading later. So we'll do one more tooth right over here, and then we will call it quits up top. Same thing on the bottom.
So it's kind of like half on, well, actually mostly on the lip, and then coming off the lip onto your face.
Exactly. You want to kind of go where your teeth are, behind my lip, my tooth is there. So use your own teeth as a reference point.
And I'm sure the goal is that you want the lines to kind of, when your mouth is closed, to connect.
Exactly. So whatever you do on the top, you want to replicate on the bottom. I like to do one less tooth on the bottom, and you'll see why. I just think it leaves a little more room for shading and filling in.
Nick, you have some experience with makeup, right? Like, you started off as a makeup artist. So, but did you ever get to this level, or were you more like,
no way,
like glam?
I was glam, like wedding.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so now we're gonna get kind of fun in here. And when you're making this little eye socket, it can kind of be whatever you want it to be. Doesn't have to be perfect. It can be more wide. You can kind of do like an angry eyebrow piece, which I can kind of show you too. If you come up here and you want to kind of create more of a sketchy sort of line, it kind of looks like you want it to look like a line drawing almost, but skull version.
Oh, cool.
Oh, effortless this looks. It never is. Just so you know out there, never is this easy.
Right? Nicole, I'm going to let you just work for a second and we'll let Nick and I just talk about how amazingly steady your hand is and how sure you are with your drawing. And that just comes with practice, right? Just knowing what you're doing. I mean, you must have done this. I know that you must have done this look before, or can you just now look at a picture and just draw it? Does it come to that level?
I have done, so many skulls over the years, and I've actually worked a lot of festivals where I've had to do sugar skulls and classic skulls in like 10 minutes with face paint. So things like that. And I feel like Halloween Day and this whole month, really, you're pushed because customers keep asking for things and you're like, yeah, I'll take it. You just want all the clients. So, it does kind of push you, but I'd highly encourage anyone. And even when I mentor, all my artists and my students, I'm like, just practice. Like, that's the biggest thing, because that's how I feel so confident making these, is I'm familiar with the eye structure, the nose shape, and the teeth, and everything else is just fun. You get to shade with eyeshadow. It's very, very simple. So we're doing a couple more little shading lines here. Now we're just kind of adding some texture with the lines. So they don't have to all connect. Some can be kind of just floating.
I'm so bummed I didn't think about this sooner. We could have had you do this on your face at the same time too.
Oh my God. Wait, let me see what I've got. I think I've got a Sharpie in there. Will that work as well?
That will work.
It'll be there for a minute.
A little too good, so you might have this on until the end of October. But
Nicole, though, but while we are talking about the product, why don't you repeat, just for our viewers, the actual product that you're using to get, because that's clearly the success to making this work very well, is the product that you're using is giving you like such a clean, defined line. So shout that out nice and proud again for those viewers that are watching that are going to be like, I need that.
Absolutely. So I feel like a big key part of this look is having a very black liner, a liquid liner like this one. This is the Blackout from Morphe. And this does come in black, brown, and white. The white one is very cool as well if you want to create little highlights. At the very, very end, that's kind of fun. But I think this is such a big key because the felt tip is very precise, and that's what's helping me create such nice, crisp lines with ease. And you don't even have to really think about it. The felt tip kind of does it all for you.
So she says.
Should we put it to the test, Nick? Should we tomorrow? Should we see if I can do it?
I think we should. I think get all this Morphe product so that you can recreate this look. I'll even make popcorn so I can watch you do this.
Why am I always the one who does the guinea pig? Remember the episode that we did with the eyebrows where I trimmed my eyebrows and you were just screenshotting my ridiculous spiderweb eyebrows? Nicole, you're doing great. Sorry.
No, you're good. I love that you guys are having fun.
Oh gosh.
It's fascinating to watch, isn't it? I really could just watch.
I think about when I started doing makeup, the reason why I got into makeup to begin with was because I was fascinated by the art of it. It's literally like painting a painting, but on someone's face. So it was just so fascinating and fun for me that's why I got into it to begin with. This is just taking it to a whole nother level.
100%. All right, so next step is we're going to fill in these bigger areas right here. Be selective with what you choose to fill in because it starts to get a lot of black, a lot of black areas. So you want to really make sure that you're using those black areas as contrast and you're very specific. So I suggest just filling in right next to the mouth and the nose. We'll start there and then kind of see where it goes. And to save time, a lot of these bigger areas, I'll just kind of pat the product on, get a thicker sort of concealer brush and almost use it as a paintbrush to just fill in quickly. Save yourself time and the energy and just spread that out. You also don't want to waste a ton of your product. So I'm always a big fan of trying to spread my products out as long as I possibly can and get the most use out of them.
Nicole, while you're focusing on what you're doing there, I want to remind the viewers to engage with us, you guys. Engage with what we're talking about right now. And don't forget to include your Instagram handle so that when we announce the winners, we can announce your Instagram handle on IG Live tomorrow. Okay, so because this is so many cool things. I know you guys are going to be all the questions, all the engagements. And so Nicole, what product are you using right now to fill it? Is this the same one? You were just using it with a brush?
Yes, this is the same liquid liner. I am just patting some of the product on where I know I need to fill in and then alternating with a concealer brush something flat that's going to almost act as like a paintbrush to just pack it and fill it in. And same thing right here in this large area.
Got it.
So while you're filling that in, has there been any specific looks you did for Halloween in the past that you're like obsessed with?
Oh my gosh, so many. I did a red devil last year on Mac Daddy Angel, who is a good friend of mine, and I really loved that. What else? I feel like every year it's just been like cooler and cooler requests. But most of the time on Halloween, I will say everybody wants to be a skull. It's always a skull, or like the couple that wants to be the skull couple and all kinds of stuff. But I have to say my favorite is always doing skulls, because you can do so many different variations, and some, look more simplified and some are more scary. And one year I actually did Drake Bell from Drake and Josh. It was like my first celebrity that I did for Halloween, where like him and his girlfriend, now his wife, actually I think they're married now, they hit me up and I got to do them both as this like really cool biker skull duo. And I just thought it was the coolest thing, because I was new to LA and I was so young. I was maybe like 21. So it meant a lot for me. So that was a memorable one.
That's a moment.
Yeah.
I think what we should do is, not only for people who are chatting with us, are we going to pick one lucky winner, but I think we should do another contest for anybody who recreates this look and tags us. We'll figure out who may have replicated it the best, and also give you a couple more free prizes.
I love that. And I will have to say, I am heavily inspired by this artist that I've seen do this recently. I'm not sure if she created it, but her photo is one that I have been looking to for this look. So I wish I had her handle. I'll try to find it and give it to you guys so we can give her the correct credit. But I've definitely seen looks like this before, but this more specifically, she was the one that kind of gave me this inspo. So I think that's such a fun challenge, and it's easy for people to do at home with, whatever products they already have.
How cool that you're paying it forward like that. I mean, like, you are doing so well on your own and then getting inspiration from another artist. I'm sure she's probably like, oh my God, she's inspired by me. That's so cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get inspiration from so many artists on Instagram. It's just that's what it's for. And if you're not using it for that, you're missing out, because there's so many talented artists on there.
I agree.
Cool. So I'm just actually selecting a few different lines, and I'm kind of thickening them up just to give a little bit more dimension and depth. I'm going to do one more up here, and then we'll get into our shading, which will only take me a few minutes. So you could take this easily into a full face look if you wanted, but I think the half face looks pretty awesome.
Pretty cool, for sure.
I'm obsessed already.
I like the idea also of like not blacking everything out and just doing it in certain sections to thicken it up. I think it gives a cool dimension.
100%. I totally agree.
And also, have you ever gone to like a holiday party? Have you ever worn like a mask or something where you're completely unrecognizable because you're like, this is nice because you can have the costume and the effect, but people still know who you are. So you can socialize with the people without them going, who are you?
Exactly, where they have to take it off. It's so funny. Okay, so I'm going to get into my shading, which this part always kind of brings this like 3D effect to any makeup that you do. So whether you're doing this or any kind of like torn mouth effect or whatever, I'm taking this black right here. It's very, very, very rich black, which I love. It's matte. And I'm taking this brush. This is the 506. It's a small fluffy brush. So we're going to take this guy and I'm going to alternate. Another brush I'm going to be using is something very small for detail, and that's the 515. You can see how small this is. It's just a tiny little shader. It's dyed pink from my eyes, but yes, it is super small detail and a little bit fluffier. So first I'm going to take this tiny detail brush and we're going to wedge it in between some of these crevices and run it along these small lines just to add a little depth. And you'll see what I mean in just a second.
Sometimes I feel like I need to fill the space with like talking, but I just want to watch. Do you ever get that? Like, you're just like, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You are a true artiste for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually do a ton of virtual classes now since COVID. And at first I used to try to fill all the space. And then I noticed that a lot of my students and whoever's viewing and watching, they just wanted to watch, I didn't need to fill it. So yeah, I get that.
So it's almost like the liquid liner is giving you a more saturated wet, and then the powder is giving you more of like a dry brush effect.
Exactly. And then I like to take this right in between all of the teeth.
Again, piece of cake.
Yeah.
It could be real fast, and I'm kind of lightening my pressure as I go up. So it's really saturated here. And then as I go up, I'm kind of pulling the brush away from my skin a little so it does this cool little fade.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
Nicole, you're so focused. I want you to know, just to give you a little love right now, typically on Unveiling Beauty, we have multiple guests, but we were like, she's going to own this. And we will have a spotlight in a minute, but we were like, we just want her to own the show right now and give undivided attention, because we were just like, we knew you were going to bring it. So we're like, it's her.
Oh my
God. This is the show.
Thank you so much. I was like, I hope I do good for them. I mean, I've never done this with you guys before, so I'm hoping, this is exactly what you're kind of looking for with this segment. So
perfect.
When you have an Emmy under your belt, we have a little confidence in what you're going to show up for our show. So.
Oh, thank you. I'm just doing the same thing on the bottom. Again, kind of making sure right in between, wedging this block right in between the teeth and then dragging it down. And the cool part about this style of makeup is most of the products are waterproof or just dry, but let's say I did spill a drink or this starts to kind of run, it almost looks cooler as it gets worn, and even with sweat or drinking and stuff like that, it's totally fine. So the messier it looks, almost the cooler it starts to look.
Yeah, because you don't want to go out all night, right, and not be able to enjoy or have a drink because you're worried about ruining your makeup. It gives you permission.
Exactly. So I'm taking that slightly fluffier brush here, that 506, and I'm just going to start to diffuse some of those areas, those bigger areas, just to add some quick, fast shading here. Maybe all the way around the bottom jawline, just to give it a little dimension, make it look like it's kind of popping off. And if you have colorful liners too, you could totally do this whole skull in a color, like a pink or a purple or.
Right, yeah.
I was just going to ask that actually. I'm like, I bet you can make it look really cool with different tones.
No, 100%. It also looks cool. You can customize, use rhinestones. I mean, so much you can do here to really truly make it your own.
Is making me want to do it.
How does that work? So Nicole, though, I have a question, because if I am going to indeed accept the challenge and try to do some of this tomorrow, I don't usually shave my beard all the way off. So is there a version of this that works that I could, because it's been 10 years since I've been cleanly shaven. So that's a commitment.
Yeah, you know what? If you're down to trim it, I have done, and this is a common occurrence. Every Halloween, there's always that one guy that's like, I'm known for my beard, I can't lose my beard. So what I tell them to do is just kind of shave the mustache area down a little bit more if they can trim it, and then you can, even if you just do this, these coming up from your mustache, the little.
Okay.
And then you kind of hit your cheekbone with this and you do this part in the nose, it still reads, it still looks like a skull. So it's definitely possible. The teeth is a big selling point, but there's ways you can manipulate it so you could still do the look,
AKA shave.
I'll trim it down really, really short. We'll see about the actual razor clean shave.
I could show you guys one more way to elevate this, but I just want to make sure I have time, if that's okay.
You go for it, yeah.
Great. So You could stop at this point. This is your full outline, fill, and shading done here. And the key with this is to know when to stop. Know when you're like, okay, I've got it. I've got the structure. You don't want to do too much, but I do want to kick up to these areas with some white eyeshadow because it's really going to help bring even more dimension and contrast and raise some of these bones and areas right here, cheekbone, all right here, maybe on a couple of the teeth. So to do that, I'm going to use again, I'll switch off between two different brushes. I've got this slightly fatter, flat. I call this like a packing paw, but if it's flat, you pack. So I'm taking this little flat packing paw and then a concealer brush because it's more firm. So I can really take that and be precise on where I want to put that in the teeth. So first things first, I'll use this slightly larger brush and we'll go to these bigger areas like the brow bone. And I'm just taking my pure white from the James Charles palette right here. We're gonna take that and just press it. Not all over. You wanna just kind of be specific on where you put it. But be generous with it too. You really want that white to show through.
Makes a big difference.
It does.
Yeah, a little bit, right? It's
dimension, it really jumps out.
Yeah. And I'm gonna wedge this white messily. Telling you, it looks better. The messier it is, it looks better. We'll just kind of wedge this in here.
Our viewers will appreciate that.
Yeah, totally. Especially when you're like, oh, I gotta go to this party, I got invited, or you have something to do. It's, obviously this year is kind of strange, but good time to practice so that by next year, all those last minute parties you get invited to, you still feel like you look bomb.
I mean, I think this would be super fun to do is like, if you can't get together as a physical group to get on like a chat like this and everybody kind of like do it together. I think that would be a totally fun thing to do.
Oh, well, if you guys are free on Sunday and Monday, I am teaching it. I have an online Zoom class.
That's awesome.
So I'm taking my little concealer brush and I'm just packing this right inside of all my teeth. Again, don't stress on filling the entire tooth. It's just really one little accent in there just to pop it.
Wow.
Awesome.
Cool. And there you have it. There's your finished.
Nicole,
so
outstanding. Good. Outstanding. I have to ask you, so this is amazing, but I want to know, of all the Morphe products that you love and adore, like what are the ones that you're like, these are my staples. I have to have these regardless of the look I'm going for. These ones are always with me.
Easy. First off, Glamour Bronze, which is there are bronzers. They're huge. They're matte. They are stunning. They come in so many different varieties of colors. It's just the biggest bronzer range I've ever seen from a brand. So love my Glamour Bronze because I am always in between skin tones, tanning and things like that. Our liquid liner, as you can see, I'm a big fan. I've been putting it all over my face, but I really do love our liquid liners. The felt tip one is actually incredible too. I use the felt tip one day to day, but anytime I'm gonna do I need really long wear, I'll go with the blackout, and the white one's really great as well. And our lip liners. Our lip liners are the smoothest, most buttery. They're just amazing. Every makeup artist I know has them in their kit, and they've just been a huge staple for me. So today I'm wearing Honeymoon, which is this really nice, like taupey kind of brownish nude. And yeah, I just can't go anywhere without my Honeymoon and my Sweet Tea. Those are my two favorite colors.
I love the names of makeup colors. They're always so like creative. Nicole, I want to thank you so much. Above and beyond our expectations, and our expectations were pretty high. I have to say, you are an amazing artist, and I know that the viewers are all going to be agreeing and be loving, and cannot wait to hear what they have to say tomorrow night when we do our after the show segment on Instagram. But thank you so much for joining us today, for taking the time and for sharing your expertise and your tips and your passion and your creativity. Thank you
so much. I appreciate it. And I'm so grateful to be here. And I hope that you guys, everyone watching, I hope that you guys like this. And again, want to recreate and try and just kind of push yourself out of your box and know that you can do crazy fun looks with common products that you probably have sitting at your vanity. So thank you again, guys. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
We'll see you soon, hopefully. Take care.
See ya. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was such a cool demonstration of how to do some really cool Halloween makeup. But we have no good makeup is good without any good hair, right, Ammon?
Right. So now comes to the portion of the show where we get to spotlight a special guest. And so, Nick, who do we have coming on board today?
So we happen to have Reva Haga, which is one of our design team members at Ulta Beauty. So we're so excited to have her here today. So welcome her to the show. How are you, Reva?
Good. How are you?
Hey, Reva.
Nice to see you. It's been a minute.
Hi. Nice to see you guys.
So tell us, so how long have you been with Ulta now?
This year will be 6 years that I've been, and then at my current location for 2 years now.
Awesome. And what are all the different roles? Because you had a couple roles in the company so far. Tell us about them.
Yeah. I came on originally with Ulta as a salon leader in Vero Beach, and I loved it. For me, that was kind of like my buy-in within the team was wonderful. And then I had the pleasure of joining you guys on the design team. So that's where I am right now. I work behind the chair in Jacksonville currently, and then do design team stuff for you guys.
Awesome. So before I kick it to Ammon to talk about what you're going to do, where could somebody book an appointment with you if they want to get their hair done?
I currently am at the Markets of Town Center in Jacksonville. It is the Town Center location.
I have a specific question for you today that relates to what we just saw Nicole do with that amazing makeup look. And I would love for you to talk to us about complementing hair for makeup looks like that. What would you do if somebody had a makeup look like that and they said, give me a complete look from a hair perspective?
So for me, when I look at her look, first of all, it's beautiful and she made it look effortless. But I would think sticking with that theme, so half and half. So leaving half of your hair how you would wear it or with your glam makeup. And then I went ahead and installed on this side a piece of colored extension so that you could just kind of sync it up with the look that you have and just texturize it some so it fits in with your hair, but it really gives you a nice pop on that side. And like she was saying, adding a pop of color, so maybe you could coordinate them. It's a service that the salon offers. And again, to touch on what she said, it's something super quick. So you can make an appointment and get it installed in 15 or 20 minutes.
That's awesome. Do you have one, or can we see exactly what
I'll show you some. So this is what they look like, and they're green. And then, so I kind of did mine on the part line, and sticking with that, I would do the same thing. Just follow it down. So you'll see that this is the sandwich right here. So under it, placing another one so that you get that nice pop in there. And then taking the second piece to sandwich it again with that previous one. And they're super easy to remove. They don't cause any damage. So you get that nice pop of color to kind of accent that look that you had. And then I would probably spray it with some hairspray just to jazz you up a little. And then you have half and half again.
Easy breezy. There you go. Way to switch it up real quick.
Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us where they could find you on social media as well.
So my social media is Reva_Danielle on Instagram. That's where I post all the hair stuff and then cool design scene stuff that we get to do with you guys.
Awesome. Well, like Ammon said, you're new to the design team. We're excited to have you on the team, excited for all the cool things you do. So for those of you out there who do not follow her, make sure you do that because you want to see all the cool things she's going to be putting out into the world. But in the meantime, thanks for hanging out with us today. It's good to see you.
Yeah, Reva. Thank you so much.
It's nice seeing you guys. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Sure.
So, Ammon, have you thought much about what you're going to do for Halloween and what you're going to dress up as?
To be honest, until we started to kind of put our brains together with this, no. Have you?
Not at all. This year, I don't even know. Maybe we're going to have to do what you said, that kind of virtual Halloween bash. So we'll see. But we're going to have to have a cocktail in there somewhere as well.
Well, for sure. I mean, that's a given. I think that the part of it that I really have enjoyed about this is maybe our brains, and I mean, everybody's brains haven't been thinking about Halloween in the same way, but this episode hopefully brings a little light and fun and reminds us that the world is still happening and that we can still, do things and find ways of engaging and have fun and make sure that we find the bright spots and the light spots and the holidays that are just around the corner, Halloween maybe being the kickoff of those, and kind of surface up from what's going on in the world right now that can feel heavy and have a little fun and be a little playful.
Totally. Speaking of fun and playful, tomorrow night we're going to be on Instagram at 6 p.m. Central Time, correct?
Yes, indeed. And that is playful. I like the way that you said that, yeah.
That will be playful, I promise. But in the meantime, what could the viewers expect for the next Unveiling Beauty?
So the next one is going to be, it's called Prepárate conmigo, which in Spanish means get ready with me. And as you might expect from the title, it's going to be an episode completely done in Espanol by some of our amazing design team members and some special guests. So it'll be anything from hair, makeup, you name it, but all delivered in Espanol for those of you viewers who prefer to receive in that language, because we like to be very inclusive and we love our Latinx community.
I love it. That means you will not see me on that show because you do not speak another language. I barely speak very well English, so we're going to leave it to the pros. So until then, I will see you on the next episode of Unveiling Beauty. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow on Instagram. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, guys.